got some lump in your throat there. What an amazing movie. Give it up for this wonderful lady.
Thank you.
Seriously. Wow, what can I say? By the way, my name is Kash from Sabras Radio on the 6 to 8 show. Melissa, seriously, I'm really touched and wow, still shaken over this amazing movie. Do you know what? Maybe we'll start. I'm just going to go ad hoc here, all right? And the show is all yours. Tell us about this. How did it come about making this movie?
So I started the film back in 2010. I just graduated from university and I was sitting down one day. There were no jobs available at the time. So my mum said to me, why don't you write a script? And I said, okay, I'll think about something. And I started writing the script, and a week later I had what was called Jaden at the time. It's now called Those Four Walls. And after that, my mum's a tax manager in the film industry. So she said to me, okay, let's start. You have to learn everything as you go along. So I started the budgeting, the scheduling, then getting a crew together, getting the cast together, trying to get finance for the film. So I literally stood up in front of people trying to get the finance for the film, trying to tell people what I was trying to achieve from the film. And then in November 2012, I always forget the dates, November 2012 was when we were actually going to shoot. And it was meant to be new talent. I was literally going to have complete new talent and trying to help people in the film industry to make a film and get their foot in the door. And that's when I met Amit Chana at an event. And I said to Amit, you know, my DOPs have given you my script, have you read it? And he said, oh, no, Jaden, I need to read that. He went home that night, he read the script. It must have been, we didn't get home until 1 o'clock, so he must have read that script for a couple of hours, rang me the next day and said, I love it and I want to come on board. And so in 4 months, we then went into the pre-production of the film. We had to change all the cast, of course, like you can see some of the names, you might recognize them. Anthony, he's from Blue. We had Kavi, who actually flew in from India, he works in Bollywood. We had Kulvinder Gill, Shaheen Khan, both from Bend It Like Beckham. So he brought in all this talent. And so we had to fit into their schedules and when they were available. And that's what we done.
Superb, absolutely amazing. Let's just talk about the story, the script. Whose idea was it?
It was all mine, from start to finish. Some of it was real life, and some people here today will know my brother. And if you notice, Krish is a lot like my brother. His relationship with his sister, his relationship with his grandma, it's a lot like my brother, and that's where the characteristics came from that. And even some of the dialogue, like the dialogue that he says about if you misbehave, I'll put you on the naughty step. My brother actually said that to me once, and I'm like, but I'm your big sister. And he's like, yeah, and I sat there and I was like, right, I have to put that in the film. Other parts of it, Sean's character, I've never come across domestic violence at all. It just so happened that in November 2010, when I started writing the script, a girl called Avina Shah, who you might know from radio, she's a singer. She had a song coming out called Tere Bina at the time, and it was about domestic violence, and it kind of touched me. And I didn't want to fixate on the domestic violence, I just wanted it to be a part of it. And it wasn't about Jasmine's character, it was more to do with Sean and why he's doing what he was doing. And he was copying what his dad used to do. When he was a child, he would watch his dad beat his mum. So when he gets drunk, he does exactly the same thing, but he doesn't want to, he just does, and he doesn't understand it.
Did you have to do a lot of research on this?
Into the domestic violence part, yes, because obviously we don't want to offend anyone. The other characters, you can't really offend people with them. Jaden's character was simply, as a radio presenter, I met people who would say to me, I'd say, hi, I'm a radio presenter, and they'd go, hi, I'm a singer. And I'd go, okay, so what have you sung? Nothing. Do you play an instrument? No. What do you do? I'm an accountant. How can you be an accountant and a singer, but you've never sung anything? And so Jaden's character is very much like that. As a producer, you meet a lot of people who want to be actors, but being South Asian, you get their families saying to them, you need to be a doctor, you need to be a dentist, you need to be a lawyer. And they want to follow something else. It doesn't have to be media, it could be anything, but they want to follow another dream and they don't. And the whole point of this film is to say, follow that dream. If you've got a dream, if you do something to please your parents, that's fine. But on a Saturday morning, instead of sleeping until 12, go to drama class in the morning, or go and, be an extra in a film. Do whatever you have to do to chase that dream, rather than just sit at home and, just do whatever it is you think you should be doing.
you've got a lot of passion, and you can see this coming across from this amazing producer. I mean, how do you feel now? I mean, you made this an amazing movie with the help of the amazing director. It's absolutely amazingly directed. How do you feel?
Ecstatic. I've seen it before, obviously, on the screen. Today was the first time I think I've sat down properly and watched it. We had a screening in London on Wednesday, and I didn't actually watch this film at all. And now I'm watching it and I'm listening to people's reactions. I'm like, yes, that was the point. You were supposed to laugh at that point, and you did. That's perfect. Which makes me feel like I've done my job in what I was supposed to do. A lot of people have come up to me and told me that they do relate to the characters, and that's what I wanted. So to me, I have done exactly what I set out to do.
It seems to be that you've written the story, the script, and it seems that the characters, the actors, they all absolutely bang on the money there. The characters are actually spot on. How do you feel about that?
Do you know what? I have to thank our cast for that, because I don't think that if we had shot in November when we were supposed to shoot, it wouldn't have been what you saw today. Covey, who played Krish, he brought out that character exactly how I wanted him. And I remember watching his audition, because he was in Mumbai at the time, and I remember seeing his audition on the screen, and within the first minute, I didn't even have to watch the rest. Within the first minute, I said, there's Krish. Sean, again, I actually went to university with Hassan, and he said to me once, he said, oh, so what are you going to do? I said, I want to be a filmmaker. He said, oh, I want to be an actor. And he said, when you make your first film, make sure you cast me. Funnily enough, I didn't contact him, and me contacted him from another project. He turned up and I was like, I recognise you. But Sean as a character, he's played that so well. He's brought across exactly how Sean should be. And I have to thank the cast for that.
Absolutely amazing. I mean, my favourite character is Chris, and I can relate to a lot of bits and various things in there, but that's for another day. So maybe we can go into question and answer now with the audience, and don't be shy. I tell you what, this movie is absolutely amazing. There's so much we could talk about. We could be here all night. Can I just thank the organisers, especially, is it Samir, for bringing this film here as well today. I mean, without that, we wouldn't be able to see this movie.
No, exactly, yeah.
What a privilege. And I know your mum had a bit part to do with this as well, right?
Yeah, she is there somewhere. There's bright lights, so I can't see it. There she is.
Okay, so anybody got any questions relating to this movie today?
You'll all sit there quiet, and suddenly
From
one person
here.
will start, and that'll be it.
I'll start.
Yeah, sure.
That's okay.
We'll come back to you soon.
Melissa, you're a young lady. You're a young Australian lady. This is your first film as a writer and first film as a producer. What's been your journey like? Because film is regarded as a male-dominated industry. You are the wrong sex, the wrong gender, the wrong colour, etc. You're making a film. What's been your journey? I want to kind of know the challenges that you really faced.
It's actually been quite hard. As you can tell, it's taken 6 years, well, 6.5 years now for it to come onto screen. And it's because, you're right, because I'm a female, because I'm Asian, because I was young, because I literally had just come out of university when I started it. A lot of people tried to tell me, you can't do it, you won't make it. You know, we can see a script, but you're never going to get that to screen. And I believe that I proved everyone wrong, but it was hard. And there were times where we would sit there, like, you know, my mum's my co-producer, my uncle is my executive producer. We'd sit there and we'd be like, should we just give up? Should we not go forward anymore? And they would say, no, go ahead, keep going. And you have to have a really thick skin to be in this industry, because they're, like you said, it's very male dominated, and they will try and take your product and walk away with it. And you just have to stand there and stand your ground and say, no, this is my project and I'm going to carry on.
Can I just, yeah, absolutely. Amit's not here today, but what's his reaction to the movie?
He loves it. He saw it. He wasn't in the post-production as much because he was working on a lot of other projects at the time. But when he saw the final product, he absolutely loved it. I don't believe there was anything, he didn't have anything. In fact, there was nothing he said that we had to actually change in the film.
Anybody else? Oh, sir.
I must congratulate Vanessa first of all
Thank you.
I'm his uncle. I'm Magan Bhai Waghela.
Oh, Mr. Magella. How are you? One of our listeners on excellent.
Every day.
Super, God bless you, sir.
But you never give me a prize when my answer is right.
Oh dear, how embarrassing.
I'm very, very proud of Alicia. You really did something which nobody in our community has done. And I don't have words to say, really say. Where did you get all this idea? Once, a few years ago, I came to your dad house and we just met for dinner and said, you are working for BBC something. Then I come to know you are making a film. But it's amazing, fantastic. God bless you. All people's blessings are with you. We want
Thank
something.
you.
Our Chauhan's family name is there, at least. Good applause. And your dad is, and today is your daddy's birthday. My mommy's birthday. You can bless
It
each
is.
other.
Must be a blessing.
Wow, amazing. Thank you. Okay, the lady at the back, please.
So, a great film. Congratulations
Thank
on
you.
your first film. Where are you going from here now? What have you got planned for the future?
So we are looking for distribution for this particular film, which hopefully some people have picked it up from the film festival, so we'll have to see what comes from that. I'm writing my next couple of scripts, so we're aiming to shoot another film. Fingers crossed, everything goes well next year. So you could be seeing another film next year. But apart from that, I want to get into directing because, as you know, I didn't actually direct this film. I wrote and produced it, but I would like to direct. So I'm going to be going to directing courses and trying to direct the next project.
Oh, excellent. Good luck to you.
Thank
Amazing.
you.
God bless you. What else have you got? Any inspiring filmmakers out there? Or
What sort of themes are you going to explore? Sorry, if you carry on with these movies.
I've looked into a couple. At the moment, it's kind of hit and miss because it's when I start writing, I can just have an idea and I can turn around a script in 2 days. And I'll suddenly be like, okay, that works and that works. So I don't actually have any themes at the moment as such. And they come to me as I see stuff. Tomorrow I could be walking the street and see something happen and be like, oh yeah, that's a good theme to explore. So at the moment, nothing.
thank you. Somebody else over here? Yeah, please. Bhavik.
Yeah, have you have you considered shooting in Leicester or anything like that for film? Because it would be really good for Leicester. Because I've had film shoots in Leicester. Leicester would actually be another. I'd be honoured if it was. It would be really good if he shot in Leicester.
Actually, I have written a script which we were wondering where to shoot it, and obviously Leicester will cost me a lot less than it does in London. So it's always an option. You never know.
It is, yeah. I mean, it'll be really good as well because Leicester's, it's got the Asian culture is here quite a bit, and Belgrade Road and everything, and it would be really good if it came to Leicester again.
Never say never.
I'll bear that in mind.
Can I just take this opportunity to thank everybody that has supported Melissa throughout this whole project. If it wasn't for you guys that came here, the people that turned up at the other screenings, we wouldn't be here today. So behind this project, obviously, is a lot of friends and family that have done us proud. So I just want to say a big thank you to all those people. Now, a lot of people here are from our community, and they would have recognised quite a lot of the people as cameos in the film. So all those people were behind this project. So I'd like to thank them all, and a big thank you to everybody.
Before we finish, and you're talking about dreams and how people keep that alive, and I can relate to a lot of that. Back in the days, I went drama school and did filming, blah blah. It goes on. But so is that something that you're going to now keep alive? Is that something you're really going to pursue, Melissa?
Yes, we were talking earlier. I do a lot. I'm a radio presenter as well in London. I DJ and I make films. I'm also going into event planning, so I have no idea how I'm going to do it all. But the plan is to still make a film at least every couple of years. I'm not going to say that I want to be like the next Guru Chadha and make a huge film. I just want to make real films that people can relate to, that have subjects that touch people. And then who knows?
Superb. Okay, thank you. Please give it up for the team of